There are four primary causes of dreams that all beings experience, just as there are four winds that blow across the earth. Let me explain them to you. In a quiet grove near the ancient city of Rajagaha, the Buddha sat with his disciples as the cool breeze of the evening swept through the leaves of a large banyan tree. The day had been filled with teaching, walking through villages, and offering wisdom to all who sought it. Now, in the stillness of the night, the monks gathered close, eager to ask the Buddha questions that had arisen from their own reflections. One young monk, his mind full of wonder, approached the Buddha with a question that had been troubling him for some time. "Master," the monk began, bowing respectfully, "I often find myself troubled by dreams. They seem so real, but when I awaken, I am confused by their meaning. What are the causes of dreams? Why do we experience them?" The Buddha, with his calm and knowing smile, closed his eyes briefly, as if seeing into the heart of the monk's question. Then he spoke, his voice gentle but filled with the clarity of deep wisdom. Dreams arise from the movements of the mind, much like ripples on the surface of a still pond. The mind, like water, is easily disturbed by the winds of thoughts, desires, and emotions. When we are awake, we experience the world through our senses, but when we sleep, the mind continues its restless journey, creating dreams. There are many causes of dreams, but they all stem from the activity of the mind. The Buddha paused for a moment, allowing his words to settle in the minds of his listeners, and then continued. There are four primary causes of dreams that all beings experience, just as there are four winds that blow across the earth. Let me explain them to you. Number 1. Unfulfilled desires, the first cause of dreams. One of the main causes of dreams is unfulfilled desire, Buddha began. When a person longs for something, whether it is love, wealth, or power, that desire takes root in the mind. The mind, like fertile soil, allows these seeds to grow, and when we sleep, they bloom into the flowers of dreams. These dreams are often filled with the things we crave most in life, things we cannot obtain during our waking hours. The Buddha looked out at his followers, each of them silently contemplating their own desires. He continued, "Imagine a man who longs for wealth but cannot attain it. His days are filled with thoughts of gold, and in his dreams he sees himself surrounded by riches. He may dream of finding treasure, of living in a grand palace, or of receiving great rewards. Yet when he awakens, the gold is gone, and the craving remains." The Buddha paused and then added, "These dreams are illusions, much like the desires that create them. They are empty, offering no true satisfaction. For even in the dream, the mind knows that the craving will never be fully satisfied." The monks nodded, understanding that the root of suffering lay in desire, as the Buddha had taught before. The Buddha then shifted to the next cause of dreams. Number 2. Fear and anxiety, the second cause of dreams. The Buddha continued, "Another cause of dreams is fear. Just as the wind can cause even the mightiest tree to tremble, our fears disturb the peace of the mind. When a person is anxious or afraid, those emotions do not disappear when they sleep. Instead, they rise up like waves in a stormy sea, and they become the source of nightmares." The Buddha looked at his disciples, seeing their understanding grow. A person who is afraid of failure may dream of falling, of losing something dear, or of being chased by some unknown danger. These dreams are reflections of the fears that they carry in their hearts during the day. In the dream, they face their anxieties, but instead of finding peace, they are often overwhelmed by the strength of their fear. He paused, then said, "But remember this, dreams are not real. The danger you see in a nightmare cannot harm you. It is only a reflection of the mind, like a shadow cast by a flickering flame. Once the flame is steady, the shadow disappears. One of the monks, who had experienced troubling dreams, bowed deeply and thanked the Buddha for this teaching, feeling a sense of relief wash over him. The Buddha's words were like a balm to the troubled mind. Number 3, memories, the third cause of dreams. Dreams are also shaped by the memories of our past, Buddha explained next. The mind, ever clinging to what has been, brings these memories to life when we sleep. Sometimes we dream of places we have been, people we have known, or events we have experienced. These memories, stored in the depths of our consciousness, rise up and play out like scenes in a play. The Buddha raised his hand slightly, gesturing toward the endless horizon. For some, dreams of the past bring joy, a reliving of happy moments. For others, they bring sorrow, as the mind replays old wounds and traumas. But both joy and sorrow are illusions, for the past is gone. Just as a river never flows backward, time moves ever forward. Clinging to memories, whether pleasant or painful, is a cause of suffering. One monk, who often dreamed of his family and his childhood, looked thoughtful. He had always cherished those dreams, but now he began to understand that even this clinging to the past was a form of attachment. Number 4, karmic impressions, the fourth cause of dreams. Finally, the Buddha said, there are karmic impressions, imprints left by our actions, thoughts, and intentions. These impressions, though subtle, shape the way we experience the world, even in our dreams. When we perform wholesome actions, when we cultivate kindness, compassion, and wisdom, the seeds of these actions are planted in our consciousness. These seeds grow into peaceful, harmonious dreams. The Buddha paused to allow his followers to reflect on this. But when we act out of anger, hatred, or greed, we plant seeds of suffering. These too take root in our minds, and they grow into dreams of conflict, of pain, and of turmoil. In this way, our dreams are a mirror of our karma. They reflect the state of our mind and the nature of our actions. He smiled gently and said, just as a farmer tends to his fields, we must tend to the garden of our minds. By cultivating wholesome thoughts and actions, we create the conditions for peaceful sleep and peaceful dreams. The path to peaceful sleep. The Buddha then looked around at his disciples, their eyes filled with understanding. He concluded, dreams are a reflection of the mind, a window into the workings of our consciousness. If you wish to experience peace in your dreams, you must first cultivate peace in your waking life. Free yourself from desire, let go of fear, release the past, and purify your actions through the practice of compassion and wisdom. When the mind is calm, like a still pond, there will be no more ripples, no more disturbances. Your sleep will be peaceful, and your dreams will be filled with serenity, or they will disappear altogether. One of the monks asked, Master, is it possible to have no dreams at all? The Buddha nodded. Yes, when the mind is fully liberated, free from the entanglements of desire, fear, and attachment, there will be no need for dreams. In that state of perfect peace, the mind rests completely and sleep is as calm as the stillest night. The monks sat in silence, absorbing the depth of the Buddha's teaching. As the moon rose high in the sky, the Buddha's words remained with them, a gentle reminder of the power of the mind and the path to freedom from suffering. Thus the causes of dreams were revealed, and the path to inner peace became clearer to all who listened. By understanding the roots of their dreams, the monks were better able to practice mindfulness and cultivate a mind free from disturbance, not just in sleep but in every waking moment of their lives.